there's a movie that rewatched recently that I also had not seen in many many years. Jason is a child of the '80s. I'm assuming it's one you've watched before, but I don't know how well you would or would not remember it. Do you remember the movie Iron Eagle?
Oh yeah, Louis Gossett
And the
Jr.
fact that, like, it's amazing how, especially movies from that era, how they will try to have two very opposite ideas both be true at the same time. Uh, for example, for those that don't know Iron Eagle, it's about there's a bunch of like teenagers they're all military brats. They all live on like an Air Force base, and then one of them their dad gets shot down over international airspace and gets taken prisoner by I believe it was a made up Middle Eastern country, if I'm not mistaken. And so then he's put on trial and all that, and the government doesn't really want to step in and cause a war. So then the son, who knows how to fly, goes on a intelligence collecting kind of mission with his friends on the base and stuff, and then they, along with Louis Gossett Jr., and they go on a mission to save the dad. So it's an entertaining film for what it is, but like when you try to look at it from, it's like, okay, so you're both trying to sell the fact that this is the most impressive country and intelligence apparatus in the world that is being completely undone by a bunch of teenagers on an Air Force base without any level of training, and they're like doing shit like to distract people so that they can grab some like top secret plans or some shit. They're like dropping firecrackers in a trash can to simulate gunfire, and like no one's firing back at them. I'm like, oh, that would be that, like their heads would be blown off their shoulders. So it's a fun movie. Like it's an entertaining movie on its own terms, and it's also a comedic movie just at how absolutely inept our military leaders have to be for any of this to actually occur.
Well, I kind of believe that.
Yeah.
But what's even better about Iron Eagle is I know a lot of people in the late '80s who would straight up say, I'm not making this up, I was there, folks, 3,000 years ago, actually say, I prefer Iron Eagle over Top Gun. They would say, even though it's a cheaper film, it's much lower movie. Budget, they say, I prefer Iron Eagle over Top Gun.
The second one was shit, but the first one was great.
Well, don't tell
Iron Eagle, I'm saying. That's the second Top Gun was awesome, but nevertheless.
Don't tell Johnny Lawrence you don't like Iron Eagle too. He might sweep the leg. But the thing is that what's really cool about Iron Eagle is when they need some inspiration, the kid puts in a tape cassette. I think it's in a tape deck in the jet fighter of Queen's One Vision. One Vision is actually in the damn movie, and Louis Gossett Jr. is piloting the other jet. He's like, ooh, I like that. I'm just like, this is the greatest film ever. If the shit's going down anytime in my life, and you put in Queen's One Vision and that dun 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 starts up, it's like, no, we got this. It's the most hype music. So it's
the soundtrack's incredible. It's the first time I remember hearing Twisted Sister as well. So that's like, anytime I hear any Twisted Sister song, like I always think of that movie because that's the first time I remember hearing them.
Yeah. Louis Gossett Jr. is badass, huh?
Oh, he's one of those who elevates anything that he is in.
Like I honestly,
remember Toy Soldiers?
Yeah. I mean, Officer and a Gentleman. To me, Louis Gossett Jr. is the standout in this. I don't know. He got
nominated for that, didn't he?
I think so. He might have won.
He might have won.
All I know is that badass. I mean, there's Samuel L. Jackson, but before there was Samuel L. Jackson, there was Louis Gossett Jr. Holy shit. Just a badass. I got nothing but good
Jackson without all the.
He really is. He's like the precursor. He's like the prototype. He really is.
And no one could bark like, because he played military types a lot, or in Toy Soldiers he was like the head of like a disciplinary school for troubled youth and shit. It was like Die Hard at a kid's school.
Right.
And but no one could like bark out an order like Lou Gossett Jr. or do that look where he's the I'm not disappointed, I'm pissed.
Oh yeah. He is legit the guy you want on your team.
Louis Gossett Jr. Legend, man.
Just a He's still alive. Is Louis Gossett Jr. still
I
alive?
believe so. I know he, I don't know specifics, but I thought he had some, as he's gotten older, he's had some health problems, but I believe he's still alive.
Too.
I don't think he's, I think he's retired now. I don't know if he's still,
fucking know. But anyway, he's
but my God,
also, it's also amazing. He plays that alien in Enemy Mine, where
I never saw that one.
Dennis Quaid and him are trapped on a planet together, and the film is a great film, but the film really is just a movie version of a Star Trek episode. Star Trek did the same exact story in classic Trek, but Enemy Mine, he plays this alien. Dennis Quaid is an astronaut who crashes on the planet, and they have to deal with each other. And at first they're trying to kill each other. Then they realize they need to, and they can't speak each other's language. And so then they start helping each other. That's good. I don't know how we got off on this, but anything Louis Gossett Jr.'s in, go watch. Let me put it that way.
Because even if it's a bad movie, it inevitably will have some redeeming qualities because he is in it.
Right. He's like Morgan Freeman or Sean Connery. You can have these people in a shit film, but they're in it. And that's good.
And their charisma and talent is enough to at least make something watchable, if nothing else.
That's exactly right.